Clay Travis, who now works for Fox Sports, was here to help us understand what it meant to be a member of the SEC back in 2012. To help us break down more of tonight's SEC West showdown between the Aggies and Auburn, we bring in Stephen McGee and Jordan Pugh once again. Jordan, the Aggie defense, they've given up some big chunks of yardage and some plays this year. What are they doing wrong that allows the teams like South Carolina's quarterback to bust off a 60-plus yard run on them last week?
When you look at this defense, the biggest thing is they're out of gaps. The biggest plays that they're giving up are in the running game. You see huge gains. You see 70, 80-yard gains, even 30-yard gains. A lot of guys are out of gaps. Guys are getting displaced, and they're getting movement on the offensive line. They're doing that. And then another thing that you see is you see a lot of missed tackles in the open field. One of the biggest things as a defensive back, and you know this, man, is making the tackle in the open field. If you can do that, you can limit a lot of the big plays. So I think with this front seven getting displaced out of gaps, you're seeing that. You're seeing a lot of guys miss tackles. That's what's creating the huge plays. If they limit that, it'll really break down a lot of the things, and they can dictate a lot more what offenses can do.
The biggest thing we were talking about leading up to last week, of course, was Kyler Murray. How do you think that he did in his first career start?
Well, I know this. He's got the prettiest quarterback slide in the country. That's for sure. He didn't do anything that wowed me that said he's going to win the Heisman Trophy this year, but he did his job. That's the most important thing right now for our quarterbacks, whoever that is. And right now, moving forward, it's Kyler. Don't turn the football over. Right. Let these guys, we're just talking about how many NFL receivers this offense features right now. Very potentially could have 4 guys that play on Sundays. So be a good distributor, get the offense in and out of the huddle, limit penalties, and limit turnovers. He's done that so far, but I'm interested to see how he matches up against a defense that I think is going to bring the house and see if he's got answers for it.
Jordan, here's a topic close to your heart. The Aggie secondary seemingly playing pretty well so far this season, making some big plays. Why have they been so good this year?
Man, I think it's a combination of things. When you look at the secondary as a whole, it's the defense as a whole. You see the front seven, you see what they're doing, you see them getting pressure. You look at guys like Myles Garrett, who has 10 sacks on the year. That creates more opportunities for turnovers for the defensive backs. It's a less time to cover. And you look at it, I think, Donovan has maybe 5 picks on the year. Armani Watts has 3. Harris has 1 or 2. You see pick sixes. You seeing those things happening. The defense is coming together as a unit. And so, you look at the run game. It's creating big plays, but in the passing game, they're not giving up a lot of big plays. You see them stuck man-to-man coverages, and I think the defense is simpler. They know when you have one guy to cover, you can be more aggressive, especially with a D-line like A&M has. So I think that's what's really creating opportunities for this secondary.
Donovan with a pair of the easiest interceptions you'll see.
Oh, yeah. You got to take.
Both of them right to him last week. Stephen, the Aggies have scored 22 touchdowns on 37 trips into the red zone. I would assume that having a running quarterback like Kyler only helps their offense when they get down there.
Absolutely. It's funny because as spread offenses have a tough time, it seems like, in the low red zone because they are never not in the shotgun, and most teams that are good get in these jumbo sets and are underneath center. They don't have a physical identity in that low red zone. But when you have an athletic quarterback that can get outside of the pocket, that now you can have a play that is both a run and pass play in the same call, it really can stretch defenses that otherwise are going to be flat. Those DBs, Jordan knows this. He ain't going backwards. He doesn't have to cover the end line. So it makes it really difficult to score points. We've talked about that in earlier segments this year, about being effective, getting the ball out of your hands in the low red. But now that Kyler's at quarterback, being able to extend plays and create down there like Johnny Manziel does so many times. So having that in this spread offense is going to help us in the low red, in my opinion.
The low red, that's a term I had never heard before. Good to learn some more football knowledge this week. The Aggie defense has forced 15 turnovers this season. You've mentioned that. Are you surprised at all at how many they've been able to get?
No, not really. When you look at the talent that they have on the defensive side of the ball, I would expect more turnovers, especially with the 2 ends that we have. You see how the DBs are playing. I think the only part that's not surprising is the limited amount that we have in the linebacker core, the injuries that we have there. But as a whole, I think 15 is good. I think there should be more opportunities that the defense is not taking care of. But as a whole, I think it's good. I think it's okay.
Yeah, for a quarterback, it's way too many because we're saying, hey, you can't turn the football over. But on the other side, our defense, for all their faults, if you want to say, hey, they give up yards, they've done a great job of getting their hands on the ball. And that is the difference, in my opinion, in college football today. If I want a defense to do one thing, I want them to create turnovers.
And combat that is really it's timely turnovers too. When you look at a lot of the forced fumbles, a lot of interceptions, it's at crucial times in the game, and that's what you want to see. It's at the times fourth quarter, last drive.
Arkansas, Arizona
Exactly.
State, to name a few.
Right.
Our best players making plays, getting their hands on the ball
Right.
when it matters, getting the ball back in our offensive hands to make get more possession, score more points. That's what the game's all about.
Yeah, defense wins championships. Same
Great.
game.
Great stuff from you guys as always. More from them a little bit later in the show. Time now to see what else is going on around the SEC.
That's